Okay, so welcome everyone. Hello, my name is Jason, and this is our Vinyasa Flow All Levels practice. So I hope that you're having a lovely Tuesday morning. Nope, Wednesday morning. Ah, okay, I hope you're having a lovely Wednesday morning, and I hope that your day is going well. Um, we're going to start our today's practice. It's interesting. I had an idea for how I wanted to start, and then, as usual, I sometimes change the practice. So we're going to start the practice seated in a cross-legged position with the eyes closed, and just begin to allow the breath to become long and slow. And as you find your way into a seated position, walk your hands back and begin to allow the chest to lift up. So as you lift the chest up, see that you keep the weight even on your right and left side of the pelvis. These are called your sit bones. They're at the back of the pelvis. You're going to release those down to the mat. And as you continue to breathe here, just allow the center chest to lift up, allow the heart to lift up, and continue to breathe here. Maybe welcoming a smiling of the collarbones. So the collarbones are going to spread across the back body. Tops of the trapezius are going to move down the spine. And then as you feel ready, inhale, float the arms up and over the head. Now as you float the arms up and over the head, turn the chest over to face the right side of the room. Release the left palm over to the right thigh. Take the right hand, place it behind the back. As you inhale, lift the chest up. So lift up from the center of the sternum. Keep allowing the left sit bone to release down towards the mat as you lift the left side of the chest. Turn the chest over to face the right shoulder. And keeping your right hand walking back, turn your head over towards the left shoulder. Inhale, float both arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale here, twist the chest over towards the left side of the room. Again here, re-lift through your chest, heart, and sternum, and spin the chest over to face the left side of the room. Release the left palm back behind you. Take the right arm and cross it over the top of the left thigh crease. Inhale, lifting the chest up here, and begin to twist. So as you twist, notice that the weight needs to shift back towards the right buttocks. Keep lifting up through the right side of the chest here. Keep breathing. Inhale, float both arms up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, release the hands down to the sides. So as you inhale, float the arms up and above the head, circling through the wrists. And as you exhale, glide the palms down towards the mat. Good. Inhale, floating the palms up towards the ceiling, fingers face one another. As you exhale, gliding those palms down. Inhale, floating the arms up towards the ceiling, fingers face. Exhale, gliding the fingers down. Now walk the fingers back towards the back of the room and begin to inhale, just peeling up the chest here. So as you press down through the tops of the thighs, begin to inhale, lift the frontal hip points up. Begin to walk those fingers back as you breathe. So a nice little lift in the center chest here. Good, and as you exhale, walk the fingers forward, and you're gonna find your way into a tabletop pose. So I'm gonna join you on my mat now as we both begin on our tabletops pose. Okay. So spread across the fingers here. Begin to see that the inner forearms are moving forward. Begin to see that the inner thighs are moving back. Continue to hug the belly in towards the spine. Wrap the outer triceps in and begin to feel that the tailbone is lengthening towards the heels. As you tuck the toes underneath, float the legs back, downward facing dog pose. So as you take downward facing dog pose, walk the feet a little bit wider apart. See that the feet are touching the outer edges of the mat here. And begin to press through the thumb and the forefinger. If you look forward, you'll see that the index fingers are parallel with the sides of the mat. Release the head down. Lift your forearms up. Wrap the outer arms in. And continue to lengthen your thigh bones back all the way towards the hamstrings. There can be a light bend in the knees here. Now walk the feet a little bit closer together so that the feet are hips width distance apart. And begin to float the chest over the wrist. Spread across the fingers. Continue to engage your core muscles here. As you exhale, lower those knees down to the mat. Now continue to firm the triceps in. As you bend the elbows, take the chest forward of the wrists and lower the chest all the way down onto the mat. Walk the toes under. See that the tops of the feet are pressing down towards the mat. Feel the backs of the legs lengthening here. Walk the fingers back. Continue to allow the outer elbows to hug in. Spread across the fingers. As you press down through the fingers, begin to feel that the mat is drawing towards the back of the room. Feel the tops of the shoulders lengthening towards the backs of the heels. Hug the belly in towards the spine. As you tuck the toes underneath, press down through the feet. Inhale, lift the chest up and press those thighs back as you move into downward facing dog pose. Continue to allow the heels to lengthen towards the back of the room. Continue to allow the fingers to lengthen forward towards the front of the mat. Hug the belly in and allow for those hip bones to continue to lengthen all the way back towards the back of the room. Good. Walk the feet forward towards the hands. As you feel ready, inhale, float the chest halfway up. As you exhale, a hinge at the hips and a release of the chest down. Good. Inhale, spin the palms up towards the ceiling. Lengthen through the fingers here. Engage your core muscles. So allow the buttocks flesh to lengthen towards the heels. Take your arms and begin to lengthen your fingers forward of the chest. So see that the palms are parallel with the shoulders. Good. Wrap the outer arms in. So allow the pinky fingers to face the ceiling here. And as you press down through the tops of the feet, begin to float the palms up and over the head. Raise through the fingers here as you soften through the top of the chest. As you exhale, spin the arms out to the sides, release the palms next to you. So just like we started in today's practice, see that the sides of the chest are spreading wide apart. The collarbones, which are at the tops of the shoulders, are moving towards the thumbs. Allow the tops of the feet to press on down. Continue to engage the belly here. Inhale, float the arms forward and up above the head. As you exhale, hinge at your hips and release the torso down to the mat. Inhale, lengthening halfway here. As you exhale, bend the elbows, release the chest all the way down. Inhale, spin the arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana pose. Raise through the tops of the fingers as you hug the belly in towards the spine. As you exhale, glide the arms down and out to the sides. Once again, inhale, float the arms up and above the head. Raise through the fingers here. Maybe the palms touch. As you exhale, hinge at the hips and fold all the way down. Inhale, bring the hands to the shins, lengthen through the four corners of the chest. As you exhale, release the torso down. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling, raise through the fingers. See that the pinky fingers see that the big toe mounts are pressing down as you lengthen through those side ribs. As you exhale, glide the hands back to the sides. Good. Adding on. Inhale, float the arms up and above the head. Once again, maybe looking up to see the fingers touch. As you exhale, hinging forward of the feet, releasing the head on down. Inhale, lengthening through the chest here, heart, sternum forward. Now as you exhale, walking your right leg back, walking your left leg back, finding your way into plank pose. So once again, the index fingers are parallel with the sides of the mat. The forearms are drawing forward as the thigh bones are lifting up. Keep pressing those heels back. Release the knees down to the mat. Lower the chest all the way down to the mat. Walk the fingers back again. See that the thumbs are hugging against the sides of your ribs. Draw your elbows in towards the plumb line of the body. Feel the tops of your shoulders drawing back towards the elbows. Tuck the toes underneath. Press down through the feet. Inhale, peel up the chest. Exhale, pressing on back for downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose. Continue to feel the pelvis lengthening up and back towards the back of the mat. Good. Once again here, looking forward in between the hands. Walk the feet forward to the front of the mat. As you inhale, lengthen through the chest. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, raise the arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana arms, and as you exhale, glide the hands back down to the sides. Once again, inhale, floating the arms up and above the head. As you exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthening here. Take the palms down to the mat. This time stepping back only the left leg. Pausing here. Walk the hands back and see that the right calf is moving to the right shin. See that the right outer hip is drawing back. If you want, you can take your right thumb, you can place it into your right hip crease and draw your right hip back as you bend deeper into that right knee. Good. Release your right palm down to the mat again. Press through the left heel here. Press through the left ball of the foot. Take the arms back behind you and lengthen the fingers to the back of the mat. So see here that you continue to press the left heel back. Lift the left inner thigh crease and allow both sides of the chest to lengthen over toward the armpits. Continue to broaden across the shoulders here as you lengthen through the pinky fingers. On an inhale, begin to lengthen the arms forward of the chest. Spin the fingers forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling for Anjali-asana or crescent pose. As you exhale, take the hands down to the mat. Step your right leg back behind you. Find your way into downward facing dog pose. From downward facing dog pose, shift forward into plank, top of a push-up. You can stay here, you can move through a vinyasa, or you can move straight to downward facing dog. Now, if you'd like, you can shift shoulders forward of wrist. You can lower the elbows down halfway, pause here, then begin to turn the toes underneath, press down through the palms to straighten the arms. Find your way into upward facing dog pose. Spread across the tops of the collarbones here. Breathe as you lengthen the sternum towards the crown of the head. Allow those sit bones to lengthen towards the heels. As you exhale, float those legs back, downward facing dog pose. So again, spread across the fingers. Feel the shoulders wrapping up and in. Bend those knees a lot here, just so you continue to maintain that length in the side body. Step the left foot forward in between the hands. Press the right heel back. So as you spread across the left toes, bend deeply into that left knee. Allow your left hand to come into your left hip crease. Drive the left hip back as you bend more deeply into that left knee. Allow the right inner thigh to lift up towards the ceiling here. Good. And then from here, replace the left hand right underneath the left shoulder. As you press that right heel back, begin to lift the chest up and float the arms back behind you. So the left hip continues to draw in. The chest is hovering above the left thigh. The right inner thigh is lifting up and the belly is engaged here. Keep spreading across those collarbones as you lengthen through the pinky fingers. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Or before we do that, take the arms forward in front of you. Spin the palms forward at the front of the room. Inhale, float those arms up and over the head. Urdhva Hastasana arms, Anjali-asana pose. As you exhale, glide the hands down to the mat. Step your left leg back this time to meet your right leg and find your way back into downward facing dog pose. From downward facing dog pose, shift forward into plank. Lower your knees down to the mat. Good. Inhale, float the right leg up behind you and lengthen through the chest. As you lengthen through that right leg, begin to lengthen the left arm forward in front of you. Notice here that there's a slight dipping of the middle back. Can you allow the center belly to draw in towards the center spine and allow yourself to lengthen through the left pinky finger all the way to the right big toe? As you exhale, lower the left hand down, lower the right hand down. Inhale, float the left leg back. So again here, as we float the left leg back, maybe lengthening the right arm forward. Notice here there's a slight dipping in the middle back region. So as you press through the left palm and the right shin, can you draw the belly and hug it in? That's it. Keep wrapping everything into the midline of the body. As you exhale, lower the right hand down, lower the left knee down. Tuck the toes underneath, press back through the heels, downward facing dog pose. From downward facing dog pose, look in between the hands and step your right foot in between your hands. See that the right heel is directly in the center of the mat. As you spin your left heel down towards the mat, firm your right outer thigh in. Take your right hand, bring it inside of your right leg. Take your left hand, place it on your left hip. Now, you can always place your hand on a block here. Drive your right knee in towards your right tricep. Allow the right knee to bend deeply here. So the right knee bends to 90 degrees. Inhale, float the left arm up. As you press through the pinky toe side of your left foot, draw the left thigh back. Using the strength of your left arm, inhale, lift your torso up and find your way into Virabhadrasana 2 pose. From Warrior 2, begin to turn the right fingers up towards the ceiling. Keep a bend in that right knee. As you take the right arm up towards the ceiling, lift the right side of the chest off of the right hip crease. As you exhale here, glide your right leg to straight, Trikonasana. So as you place the right hand down now on the right shin, extend your left arm up towards the ceiling. Press through the right ball of the foot. Draw the right buttocks in towards the midline of the body. So the right buttocks hugs underneath the right hip. Draw the right outer shoulder back to the right hip as you continue to lengthen the right side of the chest forward. Inhale, left arm floats us up, rebend into that right knee. Turn the right fingers up towards the ceiling. Once again, reverse the warrior. As you exhale, place both hands down on the mat. Step your right leg back to meet the left leg. You can stay in downward facing dog if you'd like to join. Shift forward into plank. Chaturanga Dandasana, halfway down. Inhale as you press through the arms to straighten the arms all the way. Lift the chest, sternum. Upward facing dog. Exhale, pressing back for downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose again, spread across the toes, lengthen through the heels. Take the left leg and step the left foot in between the hands. Spin the right heel down. Bring the left hand inside of the left bent knee and draw the left knee in towards the left shoulder. Take your right hand, place it on your right hip crease. Now press into the right outer side of your right foot, the right pinky toe side of the foot, and begin to float the right arm up towards the ceiling. Continue to lift through that right side of the chest here as you drive the left hip in. Lift the right arm up so much that it lifts the torso and trunk up, perpendicular to the floor, lengthen through the fingers here. Spin the left fingers up towards the ceiling. Reverse the warrior as you place the right hand on the right thigh. Take your hands forward of the chest. Arms are parallel to the mat. Straighten through the left leg. Hinge that left hip back. And glide your left hand down as you raise your right arm up towards the ceiling. Utthita Trikonasana, triangle pose. As you take triangle pose, press through the left ball of the foot. Left toes are relaxed here. The left outer hip is drawing underneath the left buttocks. And then you continue to breathe here as you lengthen through the right side of the chest. Continue to press through the right pinky toe side of the foot. Draw the right thigh back, hug the belly in, and look up towards those right fingers. Inhale, right arm lifts us up. Bend deeply into that left knee. Reverse the warrior here, left arm up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, glide the hands back down to the mat. Step your left leg back, shift forward into plank pose. Lower the chest halfway down, lower the chest all the way down. Untuck the toes underneath, release the forehead on the mat. Now take your hands and bring your hands along the sides of the body. The palms are facing the ceiling here. See that the backs of the toes are touching the floor. Continue to press down through the backs of the feet. Allow the inner thighs to lift up. Allow the belly to hug in. The buttocks is lengthening towards the heels here as you begin to float your chest on up. Now turn your fingers so that the pinky side of the fingers begin to face the ceiling and hug your fingers together as if you're holding a block in between your hands. Now let the chin lower slightly here and begin to allow your chest to lengthen. Good. Spin your pinky toe side of the foot down to the mat as you lengthen the center chest all the way forward towards the crown of the head. So imagine you had a zipper in between your legs, and you could zip up from the pubis all the way through to the crown of the head. As you exhale here, take the hands down to the mat, take the feet down to the mat, and lower the head on down. Tuck the feet underneath. Inhale, begin to press your way on up. And as you feel ready, pressing your way on back, downward facing dog pose.
So downward facing dog pose again. Begin to walk the feet forward to the hands. And as you inhale, lengthen the chest halfway up. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, spin the arms up towards the ceiling, Urdhva Hastasana pose. And as you exhale, float the hands back and down to the sides. Good, so let's begin by taking a bend in those knees. So you're gonna bend the knees here and just let the arms spread open, wide apart, just like Tadasana. And then as you bend the knees, just see that the weight travels from the ball of the foot to the heel of the foot. See that the calves are pressing forward, but the thighs are pressing down. But keep the weight on those heels. Take the arms forward of the chest once again. Draw the center chest in. So that's very important here. So as you draw the center chest in and up, the shoulder blades move into the sockets, and then inhale, float the arms up here. So now the chest is in line with the belly as you hug the belly in. As you exhale, lean forward and fold. Inhale, lengthening through the chest halfway. As you exhale, walking the feet back and finding your way into plank. Shift forward, plank pose, lower down halfway. Inhale, peel up the chest. Exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. You're going to step the right foot in between the hands. Walk the right toes over to the right side of the mat. See that the left heel is pressing down. As you firm the right outer hip in, begin to float the arms to the sides of the body. Inhale, take the arms forward of the chest. Hug the belly in. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling. This is Anjali pose. As you exhale here, glide the hands down to the mat. Step the right leg back. Shift forward, plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. Urdhva Mukha Shavasana. Adho Mukha Shavasana, downward facing dog pose. Good. Downward facing dog pose again, stepping this time the left foot in between the hands. Press that right heel back. So even before we lift up, right heel is pressing back, left knee is bending, and you're firming the left outer buttocks in. So you're pinning it in towards the body. As you feel ready, glide the hands to the sides of the body. Inhale, float the arms up and over the head. Good. Urdhva Hastasana, arms, Anjali pose. As you exhale, glide the hands back down to the mat. Step the left leg back. Shift forward for plank pose. Lower down halfway, pause. Inhale, peel up the chest. Exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. Good. Look forward in between the hands. Walk the feet forward to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthening. Exhale, folding. So bend the knees a lot here. See that the knees are moving over the toes and begin to shift those hips back. Keep sitting down, keep sitting down, keep sitting down. Take the arms forward to the chest. Take the arms up towards the ceiling. Straighten the legs and find your way back into Tadasana. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale, float the arms up. Urdhva Hastasana, arms as you bend the knees. Exhale, forward fold here. Inhale, lengthening through the chest. So once again, we step the feet back. We walk forward or we shift forward. Plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. We step the left foot in between the hands. Keep the right heel pressing back. Keep the left knee bending. Inhale, float the arms up for Anjali pose. As you exhale here, hands glide down. Step your left leg back. Shift forward into plank. Lower down halfway or all the way. Inhale, peeling up the chest. Exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog pose. So now we do the same with the right leg. Right foot steps forward in between the hands. Press that left heel down. Press the left heel back. Inhale, float the arms up, Anjali pose. As you exhale here, glide the hands down. Step the right leg back. Shift forward, plank. Chaturanga, upward facing, downward facing dog. And breathe here. Release the head on down as you continue to breathe. Now walk the feet forward towards the hands again. Inhale, peeling up the chest. And exhale, folding. Bend those knees, bend those knees, bend those knees. Utkatasana, chair pose. Straighten through the legs. Take the arms out into the sides. Inhale, float the arms up above the head. Bend those knees, Utkatasana, chair pose. As you exhale, hinging the hips and folding here. Inhale, lengthening through the chest. Good. Walking the feet back, finding your way into plank. Plank pose, slowing down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Downward facing dog, step the right foot in between the hands. Okay, so this time you can stay in Anjalayasana. You can spin the left heel down, pin the right outer hip in. See that the right calf is driving forward. See that the left thigh is driving back. Inhale, lift the chest up. Raise the arms up towards the ceiling, warrior one pose. So for some beginners, this may be too much in the outer hip flexors, so you can come back either into lunge pose or you can lower the left knee down onto the mat. As you exhale, glide those hands back down. Step the right leg back, shift forward into your plank. Lower down halfway, pause. Inhale, peel up the chest. Exhale, press on back. Downward facing dog pose. Downward facing dog pose, stepping the left foot in between the hands. Spinning the right heel down. So see that the left foot is right next to the left palm. See that the left calf moves forward. See that the left outer hip draws in and underneath. Press the right pinky toe side of the foot back. Inhale, float the arms up towards the ceiling. Warrior one pose. As you exhale, glide those hands down to the mat, stepping your left leg back, shifting forward plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog pose. From downward facing dog pose, look forward, walk the feet forward towards the hands. Inhale, lengthen the chest, exhale, fold. Bend the knees, Utkatasana chair pose. Straighten the legs, and bring the arms out to the sides. Take your hands to your hips, lift through the chest here, and breathe. We're going to take our left knee and bring our left knee to a bent position. You'll spin your left heel over towards the right shin here, and as you continue to breathe, you're going to bend that left knee. You're going to glide the left foot over towards the left shin or towards the right thigh, and take your hands to the center chest. This is called tree pose. One moment as I be right back. Okay. Exhale, release that foot down. Take your hands to the hips again. We're going to take the other side of the pose. So bend the right knee this time. Spin the right heel out. Glide the right hand up to the right shin. Place the right foot on top of the inner right thigh crease. Take your hands to the center chest and breathe here. So draw the left outer hip in. Draw the right big toe mound into the left shin or left thigh, and bring your hands into the center chest and breathe. Good, and as you feel ready, releasing that right foot on down. Take your palms out to the sides and breathe here. Okay, one more time. Take your hands under the hips. You're going to glide back. So press down through the right big toe mound of the foot, hug the right outer thigh in, bend through the left knee. Take your left foot, place it onto your right inner thigh crease. So this is, once again, we're in our Vrikshasana or tree pose. See that as you move into tree pose, see that your left outer hip draws in. So this hip is actually moving forward. This right hip is moving back. Both hips are moving towards each other. You're going to take your left knee and bring it to a bent position like this. Then you have an option. You could take your hands underneath the leg, just like I'm doing right now. You can keep your hands here. You could extend the leg here, okay? You could also take hold of the big toe mound of your left foot and be here. This is a little bit of a deeper variation. You could also take a strap and place it around that left leg. And eventually, you're going to begin to lengthen that left leg forward and out in front of you. That's it. Drive the left knee back in. So see that the left knee turns out in an angle here. It doesn't have to go all the way parallel with the hip. It just has to move in an angle. Press down through the right big toe mound. Press in through the right thigh. Lift that left leg out to the left side. Draw the left shoulder back into the socket and breathe here. It's okay with a bend in the knee. Drive that knee in. Bring that knee back to center. Exhale, lower that foot on down. Be here for a moment. So you'll notice that the left hip, we moved into the pose. The right hip, we didn't. So the left hip is going to be longer. It's going to be a little bit longer because of the Padangusthasana variation. So the hands come to the hips, you'll bend through the right knee, you'll spin that right heel in, and you'll glide the right foot up so the right foot comes to the left thigh crease. Draw the left outer hip in. Draw the right hip in. See that the buttocks flesh moves towards the heels. Take the hands into the center chest and breathe here. Now, take your two fingers, middle and pinky. We're going to just bring your hands underneath that right leg now. So you could stay here. Some of us are going to lift that leg forward just like this. Others of us are going to grab hold of the big toe of the foot. So drive the right knee in towards the right forearm, right shoulder. Let the left hand come to the left hip crease. Press through the left ball of the foot. Inhale, float that right leg on forward. Continue to lift the chest. Continue to lift the heart as you breathe here. Exhale, bending that knee and driving that leg out to the side. Again here, firm the left buttocks in. Draw the center chest in towards the midline of the body and extend your right leg all the way out to the right side. So breathe here. Keep lengthening through the chest. Keep lengthening through the heart. And then bring that knee into a bend. Bring it back to center. Exhale, release that foot on down. Take yourself, move into a forward fold here. Grab hold of both big toe mounds and release the head on down. This is called Padangusthasana pose. And release the head. Now, if you can, maybe you have the length to do this. You can lift up your right foot, place your right foot on top of your right palm, and then you do the same to your left. So this is called Hasta Padasana pose, where we're releasing the hands right underneath the feet, and release the head. Release the head down here, and just breathe. So this is like a standing Paschimottanasana. We're literally very similar to Paschimo, but we're in a standing pose. Just release the head down. Good. Inhale, lift the chest up. Remove the hands from underneath the foot. Take the hands to the hips. Inhale, peel the chest up. Lengthen through the fingers. Find your way back into Tadasana. Again, inhale, float the arms up, bend the knees, Utkatasana chair pose. As you exhale, hinge and fold. As you inhale, lengthen through the chest, heart, and the sternum. Take the hands down to the mat, walk the feet back, find your way into plank. All right, plank pose. Be here for a moment. Lower the knees down. Lower the chest all the way down to the mat. Forehead comes to the mat. Tops of the toes release down towards the floor. You're going to take your hands this time and interlace your fingers behind your back. As you interlace your fingers, squeeze the fingers in towards each other. See that the elbows begin to face the ceiling here. Good. Now draw the top of the shoulder back to the elbow and lengthen the fingers back towards the backs of the knees. Inhale, peeling the chest on up. Wrap the outer arms in. Press down through the left ball of the foot, float the right leg up. See that the right outer hip hugs in towards the midline of the body. Lift the right foot. As you exhale, lower that right foot down. Press down through the right ball of the foot. Inhale, float the left leg up. Drive the left leg into center. Keep breathing here as you lengthen through the chest. Exhale, lower the left foot down. Inhale, float both feet up. Spin the inner feet to the outer feet so that the pinky toe side of the foot is releasing down to the earth. Keep lengthening through the center chest here as you breathe. And as you exhale, release. Turn the head to one side, release the head down, and let go. Good. Now take your hands, bring your hands right along sides of the body. Inhale, peel the chest up again. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog pose. Take your right foot, step your right foot in between your hands, about 3/4 of the way. Begin to walk your hands back and take your hands up to your hips, okay? See that your right heel is in line with your right knee. See that your left heel is turned out slightly here, okay? From here, begin to draw your right hip back. Begin to take your left hip forward. Press through the right ball of the foot. Keep pressing through that left heel. Drive the left hip forward. Draw the right hip back. Good. Take your right hand to the right hip crease, just like we did before. Inhale, float the left arm up towards the ceiling. As you press through the left pinky toe side of the foot, begin to lengthen the left side of the chest forward. So extend through those left fingers. Now take the left hand and cross it over the right leg. as you bring the left hand over to the right side of the foot. Now, press that left heel back. Continue to lengthen the left side of the chest forward, and inhale, float the right arm up. See that the chest is moving as you press through that left heel. See that the chest is moving towards the right as you lift the right fingers up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing here as you lengthen through that left leg. And then inhale, right arm lifts us up. Come back to center, float the arms up. As you exhale, bend deeply into that right knee. It's a very short warrior one pose. Take the hands down to the mat. Press through the left pinky toe side of the foot. Inhale, float the left leg up and walk the fingers forward. Spread across the fingers here. See that you're pressing down from the thumb to the index finger and spread across all other fingers. That's it. Keep shifting that weight forward and breathing here. Some of us may begin to just float up that leg, that right leg, and just work on kind of kicking up here, just working on our balance. Good. Then walking back, finding your way into a nice long forward fold, Parsvatonasana pose. So really nice for the hip flexor, really nice for the lower IT band. And then inhale, lifting up. Bend that knee one more time. Very short warrior one. And then bringing your hands down to the mat. Step your right leg back to meet the left. Shift forward plank. Lower down half leg. Inhale, peeling up the chest. Exhale, finding your way back into downward facing dog pose. So we still have the left side of the pose to do. So from here, you're going to step your left foot 3/4 of the way forward to the front of the mat. Spin the right heel down, walk the hands back, and take the hands to the hips. So you have about a heel-to-heel arch or a little bit wider than that. Usually for this is called Prasarita Trikonasana. Usually for this pose, we have a little bit wider of a stance between our legs. Press down through the right pinky toe side of the foot. Draw the right hip forward. So the right hip is moving towards the left foot. Press through the pinky toe side big toe side of the foot of the left foot. Draw the left hip back. So it's very similar to the actions we took earlier in triangle pose or in that lunge, in the lunge pose where we drove the hip back. So we press through the heel of the foot. Inhale, float the right arm up. As you press through the pinky toe side of the foot, begin to draw the right thigh back. Lift up through the right side of the chest and begin to twist the torso all the way over towards the left side of the room. Release the right palm down right underneath your right shoulder. Good. And then from here, as you press the left heel back, so the right pinky toe side of the foot's pressing down. The left hip is driving back. Good. Inhale, maybe float the arms up. Now to get more height here, press through the back foot. See that the left knee is bent slightly and keep drawing up through the left arm. So that bend in the left knee is important because that creates space for the twist. That's it. Now inhale, lift the body up, come back to center. Very short version of warrior one. As you exhale, take the hands down to the mat. Lift the right leg up, walk the hands forward, and release the head on down. You could stay here. This is called standing split or standing L pose. You could stay here. You could also spread across the fingers. Feel the thumbs pressing down. Feel the index fingers pressing down. See that all other fingers are spread wide apart. Wrap the outer arms in so the triceps firm in as well as the forearms firm in. And then from here, the lift is not happening from the right leg. It's happening from the left leg. So as you look down, right below you, see if you can just jump up the left leg here and just work on that lift. So we're just kind of playing with this jumping. That's it. All right, and exhale, lower down. Walk the hands back. Come back into a forward fold, Parsvatonasana pose. Bending into the left knee. Inhale, floating the arms up. As you exhale here, glide the hands down to the mat. Step the left leg back. Shift forward into plank. Lower those knees down. Lower the chest all the way down. So one more time here. We're going to take our chest down onto the mat and breathe. So take the hands behind the back once again. Interlace the fingers. If you can remember the opposite way you just did. Pull the fingers back behind you. Wrap the outer arms in. Feel the chest, sternum pulling up. Good. Then from here, hug the belly in. Float the right leg up, hug it in towards the midline. Float the left leg up, hug it in towards the midline. Spread across the back body here. Continue to lengthen through the chest. So we're in our Shalabhasana pose. Exhale, lower all the way down. From Shalabhasana pose, oh, I did it again. From Shalabhasana pose, bend the knees. See that the heels are facing the ceiling. Look forward. Grab hold of the left shin, grab hold of the right shin. See that the feet come towards one another. Kick back through the heels. Feel the shins pressing, or feel the calves pressing back. Feel the thighs lifting. Feel the belly engaged. You could look down slightly, but then as you kick on back, feel the collarbones spreading wide apart. Belly's hugging in here, just like we did in Shalabhasana. Keep kicking back. Exhale, lowering all the way down. Release those feet, release the head. One more time, bend those knees. Grab hold of the sides of your shins. Firm your outer feet in. Flex your feet. Kick back. So see that the calves move in towards the shins. See that the thighs move into the hamstrings. Hug the knees in. Lengthen through the chest. Keep kicking. Keep kicking. Keep kicking. And exhale, lower all the way down. Press down through the fingers. Lift through the chest. And you're going to float the legs forward of the chest. So you're going to come forward here. Take those legs forward. Find your way onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Hands come behind the back of the head. Lift the chest up. Tap the right foot, come back. Tap the left foot, and come back. Right foot taps, and comes back. Left foot taps, and comes back. Right foot, and left foot. And right foot, and left foot. And right foot, and left foot. And right foot, and left foot. Good. And then from here, hug the knees into the chest. Now, take the arms out to the sides. Bring the knees over towards the left. And breathe here. Good. Come back to center. Take the knees over to the opposite side and be here. Come back to center again. Release the feet down on the mat. Take your hands. Fingers are holding onto the mat. Left shoulder under, right shoulder under. Press down to the tops of the feet. Begin to peel up through the pelvis. So feel the tailbone drawing in towards the backs of the knees. Feel the shins moving into the calves. Feel the thighs moving towards the hamstrings. Press down through the fingers as you begin to feel your chest moving towards the chin. This is bridge pose. Very similar to Shalabhasana. And exhale, lower on down. Good. You could take bridge again if you want. You could take the hands behind the back of the head. Press down through the fingers. Spread across the fingers here. So as you feel ready, inhale, float the thighs up, or rather, not the thighs, float the buttocks up. Feel the thighs drawing down, feel the belly drawing in. So we're back in that bridge pose in the legs. This time, hug the elbows in. Press down through the fingers, come onto the crown of the head. Hug the outer arms in. Press down through the fingers. Inhale, peel the chest up. Shoulder blades move down the spine. Lengthen through the chest and breathe here. Nice. And as you exhale, lower that head all the way down towards the mat. Arms come out to the sides. And breathe here. Just begin to cycle those legs. And left. And right. And left. Good. Now take your blocks, if you have them. Place your blocks on either side of your legs.
And breathe here. This is called Supta Baddha Konasana. Release the body down. And just breathe here. And then eventually just release those legs forward. And breathe here. And then as you feel ready, bring the knees into a bent position. Roll the body over onto your side. Press down. Inhale, lift the chest up. Find your way into a seated position. So come back to a seated position. Bring the hands into the center chest. If you'd like to join me in an Om, please feel free to do so. Take your hands into the center chest. Take a deep breath in. And releasing the chin towards the chest. Taking the palms to the thighs, palms face up, gently lifting the head and opening the eyes. Namaste, yogis. Thank you guys so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I apologize for the small screen. I did not realize. So if you were practicing, I am very grateful to you. I know because everything's on the small screen. So I apologize for that very much. I hope that you guys have a phenomenal rest of your day. Let me guys know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, and I look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Namaste, yogis. Thank you guys so much. Our next practice is going to be Thursday, June the 18th, tomorrow at 9 a.m. Hopefully, I'll remember to change the screen so that the screen is not on the smallest screen setting. So I apologize for that, guys. I hope that you guys have a phenomenal rest of your day, week, and I will look forward to seeing you all very, very soon. Namaste, yogis. Have an excellent rest of your day. Be well. Be happy, my friends. Namaste.